So you said you have a video?
I do have a video. It's popped up. I want to see what you guys think about this. I want to see your guys' thoughts.
I really hope it's not what I think it's gonna be.
What do you guys think it's gonna be?
You and Toad making out in the back?
Never happened.
I saw that one.
That one. That one you have to pay $2 for.
Something involving our friend Mondo and maybe like some sandals.
Okay.
Holy
Is that
shit.
real?
It's real.
Is that kid dead?
What?
Like, this needs to be on the news, no?
Is he being...
He's just super flexible. He's like in all the videos. He's the main star.
The main star.
He is.
But like, how is that? I'm trying to think. Like, they're not like, twisting his arms around or anything. Like,
That's what I'm saying. When it first starts, is he looking up or is he looking down or looking up?
He's looking up.
So when he goes up, so he's his...
Yeah, look-
yeah, so he's just always like this. Like,
Yeah.
he's never.
Look how he is.
Wait.
What? I lost
What were you
count.
looking up to find this?
That's what I said. It was just random. I was just scrolling. It's like one of those where, like, I get sent something and then I scroll thinking it's my feed. And then it's just...
So wait, when he's coming down, is he looking towards the ground?
No, I
No,
think he's always looking up, right?
Oh,
Like
look
the
right here.
same.
He's not... Okay, he is looking up.
Yeah, so I think they're just like.
Yeah, like he's
Like
always
they're-
in the same position, just like...
So his arms are going from here.
No, I think
To here.
I think his arms are always like this. Like they always stay the same. So he's going like.
No, when he's on the bottom, he's got to be like this.
Oh, yeah.
So let me see it again.
If he's looking up right
Debunk
there.
this, Xander.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so he's like that when he's on the ground.
Okay, so he's basically just like doing like a humping motion.
Yeah.
Like a,
Yeah, he's doing a
right,
humping
like
motion.
damn, they don't give him like an Indian burn as he's going along.
And I'm just crazy. It's just crazy how they throw him at the very end. Like, we have enough trust in those people to catch.
It's like a whole cheerleading squad. You know,
It's a cheerleading squad.
well, just think of it that way. Like, you know, like they throw those girls all crazy from all...
Man, I've never seen a cheerleading squad jump rope with somebody.
Right? Damn,
Well,
man.
I'm talking about the throw.
Those should be the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Right.
Or something. That's what we need.
Jump roping.
Man, I'd be a cheerleader if they're like, I could be the guy.
How many times do you think somebody like jumped on him? Because I mean, if I gave you a jump rope right now, how many can you do before you hit the rope?
Man, I'm thinking about them hitting him on the floor when they go down.
He got close. Like, yeah, like this is forever scoliosis as soon as he hits the fucking floor. Like, that's brutal.
Yeah, or if his head's leaning back too much.
Or they let go and he just goes flying the other way.
He doesn't get dizzy?
I don't know. Well, yeah, I looked through their whole Instagram and yeah, he's just doing, not the whole jump rope thing, but yeah, he's doing tricks. And
They're just throwing it. He's like, he probably has a superpower, huh? He's like Rubber Man.
Jump rope man. Damn.
We should try that. If I got a jump rope, I could probably do like 6.
6?
I could probably do like good 350. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I could do maybe like 10. Like, I used to be really good at it, but I haven't done it in
Okay,
a
so your
while.
muscle memory would...
A little bit, but yeah, I suck. I don't work out anymore. So.
You?
Like if I get a jump rope now, I'm sure like the very, very first one, I'm maybe like 1 or 2. But yeah, I'm sure like in 2, 3, I mean, you could do a bunch. You're saying you could only do 6?
If you give me one right now, before I mess up, I could probably get 6 in a row.
Like you're warmed up, you've been doing it for an hour.
No. Just like right now. Like, I haven't done it in forever. So yeah, it'd be hard.
Yeah, it's tougher than it sounds.
Right.
It looks like to get like consistent.
Yeah, it's hard.
Can you do jumping jacks?
Yeah, because jumping jack, that's not as hard.
You
I'm
do
saying trying to skip a rope is hard.
Can you do a backflip?
No. Never been able to backflip.
Can you do a backflip?
On a trampoline.
Yeah. Not even like on a trampoline. You don't think you could do one?
I remember doing it off a diving board.
Oh, see, that sounds harder.
Yeah, because you're landing in water.
Yeah, but just to get like that jump off like the board and it's like flexing with you like that. Like,
But you're even higher. You're even higher on the ground, so you have more.
I've done it off like the edge of a pool, but not on a backboard. I feel like, or a diving board. I feel like that would
damn,
be
so
all,
you've done one off the floor, like the straight floor.
Yeah.
Damn, I've never done that. I could do one on a trampoline or something, but I can't do one
And
just
it's
off
not
the
like
floor.
it's not like a perfect backflip. It's into the pool. I can't like do it like
And land.
and land. It's more of like a whoa, like just throw
Oh, that's
myself.
still.
in.
Nah, I guess it's intense.
As
I've
long
always-
as your feet are landing first, it doesn't matter if you.
That's one of my like
It's scary though.
like goals in life. I've always
Oh.
wanted to be able to backflip
Do a
on the
back-
floor and like land.
And land.
I had a friend in high school that could do it, like nothing. Like I don't know how he was so.
In case they have a shotgun and you jump over the.
I've heard it's easy. Like it's just like the hardest part is getting over the fear. But like anyone could do it. Like it's not a hard feat.
Yeah, when I did gymnastics, I had a really hard time with it. Like I was always so scared to like, cause we started off with like the back handspring, it's like the backflip, but where you touch your hands and then you. Yeah, I'm kind of a gymnast. No. But yeah, I had like the hardest time. Like he would spot me, and he's like, "You're doing it by yourself," and he's like, "Okay, do it by yourself." I'm not gonna put my hand, and I was like, "Oh!" Like yeah, like that fear's strong. But yeah, once you accomplish that,
The first one's always the hardest, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, right.
I've just seen too many videos of like the people where they try and backflip and they fall on their neck all ugly. Like,
Yeah,
I
that'd
mean, I'm
be
sure you
horrible.
don't die.
Some people take a beating on.
Can you do a cartwheel?
I can do it going left. Going right's a little harder. But at one point I was able to do them.
Yeah, it's funny. Like at jujitsu class, like everything or no, not even everything. But yeah, for the cartwheels, we would do like a left side, like just go down the whole gym, and yeah, everyone's all good, and then he's like, okay, other side, and then everyone's like, all like, oh, and yeah, even their feet are all kind of more weird, but yeah, there's some people who,
Damn. So, the left side's easier for you guys.
yeah,
That sounds so hard. I think I'd do the right side.
Would you?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, this is how I would go this way.
for the backflip, which way would you go?
I go this like forward.
I don't know. When some cartwheel.
Let me bust one out real quick. She could whip my face and come back all sweaty. Huh? Nice.
Yeah. Or how about when you do the cartwheel in your mind, it sounds like you're doing it perfect. Like, oh yeah, those legs are coming right up my body, and then you see it.
You're just kind of like hopping over, like all stupid.
But in the swimming pool, I can do flips easy, back, forward, like on
Really?
yeah, like when you touch the wall and you flip and do the kickoff. Like,
Yeah, even in the water, just like spinning.
and I know people that's hard for them to do. Like they have to
can't
hold their nose.
I can't do that.
No,
Man, I'm like a horrible swimmer. I'm like the
Yeah, I never got the holding the nose. I mean, sometimes it's happened where I got water in my nose, but
I have to. Like if I jump in the pool and I don't hold my nose, it just rushes in. Like, I can't stop it.
I think you're breathing in is what it is.
Yeah, probably. I just suck.
Yeah,
That's why I have to like no.
when you jump in, do you do the whole?
I cover myself. Oh
That's
yeah,
when
I'm
I
like
knew
a,
Xander was.
yeah, I'm like a dying duck in the water. Like I'm terrible. I can just kind of like not die in the water. That's about
Float.
it. I can't. I don't know how to float. Like
Yeah, I don't know
Or
how
they're
to
like
float
just
either.
like that. Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I've-
Tried. I think I just panic and like I don't let go. So like I fucking start like.
That explains a lot.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, floating's easy. It's just like I think it's like natural. Like, how do you not float?
I think you can't believe in God if you don't float.
That's what it is. The water doesn't even hold me up.
Right?
It's bullshit.
You lost your connection to Jesus.
So when you get in water, you're saying you just sink like that?
Yeah, well, like if I have cement on my feet, like a mob boss.
See, and if I want to go to the bottom of the pool, that's hard to go to the bottom of the pool.
Oh, it's effortless for me.
Like, I have to swim to the bottom.
Damn.
Right? Or no?
I mean, if you jump from really high, like at Escarate, if you go from the big one, you get to the bottom.
Your
so easy.
momentum, but I'm saying if you're just floating if you're just in deep water floating, like if I want to go to the bottom, I've got to make an effort to go to the bottom.
Well, yeah, I feel like if you like don't float and someone also doesn't float, I don't think one person's gonna like when one person's like, oh, I kind of know how to not float. Like, I think it's just gonna be like the same. Like at the rate a dead body would. Oh no, they float.
Well, they float, right?
Damn, so even a dead body could.
Is better than me.
Right? Yeah, I'd rather be that dead guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just like start like doing some shit because I freak out and I start. Yeah, I'll sink. I've never just been there like, oh, I'm floating. Yeah, I'm just bad in the water.
Because it's the air that makes you float, right?
Or I think just the fact that we're less dense in water.
But you're not.
Not me. It's all down here, you know. Dense.
And I was out of town for like 2 days, and then when I get back, Noah tells me, I don't know what smells in the fridge. I tried looking for it, but the fridge smells bad. Man, it smelled bad.
Like at your house?
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out, but yeah, right away, it was the
Cilantro. It was some
Was it
cilantro.
That's
there.
what it was?
yeah.
I'm guessing because there's nothing else in there.
It was for sure that.
And
when
it
we found
lingered,
it,
like it kept that smell in there for a while. Like,
It wasn't the group you've had in there for 3 months?
no.
See, at first when I opened the freezer, because I was getting, and that was the first things, and I smelled it, and I was like, oh, like something smells in the freezer. So I thought it was that for a while, and then that day he got there, I didn't even open the fridge. I got there late that night and fell asleep, and then in the morning I went and I opened the fridge and it was like a wall. And I
Yeah, it was
like,
bad.
"Holy shit."
But yeah, and it was so bad that after we threw everything away, it still smelled like
That
it.
sucks.
But then I put a piece of coal in there,
Coal?
and it absorbed it.
Is that what that piece of coal was? I was
Yeah.
like, what is this?
You actually did that?
Yeah, it absorbed the smell.
What?
It took the smell
Like a
out.
charcoal?
A charcoal, yeah.
What the fuck? That's so random.
And then where
I mean,
the-
I guess that makes sense. They do use that for that type of shit.
And then where the cilantro was, he got the dollar ramen and then carved it back into
You threw your underwear in there and it absorbed the smell real quick.
Sorry.
And yeah, right. And Noah had a birthday cake in there, but it was not in a Tupperware. It was just in there like that. And I think it absorbed that smell because I had a piece this morning and
And it tasted like the old cilantro.
it tasted like the way the fridge smelled.
Oh.
So I think even having the cake in there was adding to that. But yeah, it was kind of weird.
So what you're saying is when my underwear smells real bad, I could just throw a piece of cake in there?
Cool.
Coal.
I'll be said the cake worked too.
Well, it did. It absorbed it.
It's a
Yeah.
birthday cake. Damn. Yeah, last time too, like, I opened my fridge. I have 2 fridges in my kitchen. And I opened one, and yeah, it smelled in there. Like, I don't know what it was. Like
I didn't bother looking. I just knew not to use it anymore.
I was like, man, I should stop peeing in here. No, it smelled bad. And like for like 2 days, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I told my grandma, like, there's something like in here. Like, I don't know what it is, but something smells. And she was like, it does smell weird, doesn't it? And then I go to the store. So when I come back, she threw everything in the fridge away. It was gone. Like,
Oh,
and
man.
she cleaned it, and she was like, smells gone. And I was like, yeah, but my watermelon was in there. Like, oh, like my birthday cake. My charcoal was in there. Like,
I mean, I started throwing all kinds of stuff away too.
I guess that's the only way, huh? Is you go sniff every individual item.
And then I had some salmon in there.
Oh, man.
Or salmon. What is it?
Salmon.
Solomon.
Solomon. How are we saying it? It's salmon, but how do people call it? Salmon or?
Or I think we're all saying salmon, and then we asked Chris, and Chris said salmon.
But people do pronounce
Salmon.
salmon. Yeah, I had a piece of salmon in there that was good till the 11th. But then I don't know, just the smell of the cilantro or whatever made me question the fish.
And I think it was still good because it wasn't even opened, right?
It wasn't opened.
Yeah, that sucks. 'Cause that probably would have been my first guess too, is the fish, but it wasn't even the fish. Like, ah.
I told him we got it after. He threw it away after. Yeah, the cilantro was all like brown, and I got the bag and it smelled. It was definitely the.
Damn,
but I
surprised the
don't know.
cilantro was what smelled like that. That's weird.
I think I bought it in 2021.
And that's what it even like when he opened it when I got there, it honestly smelled like when the salad goes bad. And I was like, oh, like it smells like something like
Like a bad veggie.
a bad veggie. Cause yeah, sometimes we'll get those like little salad kits where it's just like the mixed veggies. And yeah, after like you open it, like you have 7 or 10 days, and yeah, it'll start getting like all smelly and soggy.
I've never smelled bad salad. I mean, I'm sure I probably have, but like,
Never tossed a bad salad.
god damn it.
Look at this one.
If I don't see someone being used as a jump rope, I'm not watching
This
it.
world is not what you've been told it was. And it's certainly not just the depictions of faces found time and time again in the rocks. Our realm was much larger, and the evidence that geology is nothing more than hardened biology can be found everywhere. And those with open eyes
Pork
and open
ribs?
minds see it all too well. Makes you wonder about that pink Himalayan salt. We are standing literally on the remains of this much larger post-apocalyptic realm of ours. I recommend everyone check out Mud Fossil University on YouTube. Covered up and buried in an instant, in some cataclysmic reset of our realm. And what we get is the final moments of these titans, frozen in time like a photograph. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
If you don't,
I don't think it's fake. I just think, what is it, like pareidolia, whatever it is, where
if you don't,
humans-
oh, so
no, I was just gonna say where humans like, we're like aren't programmed or whatever the fuck, like to like recognize other humans' faces and patterns. So yeah, I just think when something kind of looks like a face, it looks like a face to us.
like on Trans Mountain, the elephant. You know, they just like that. But I mean, if you want to believe those photos are real, then you have to believe the pictures of Mars are real. I mean, yeah,
shots
that looked like some
fired.
random ass video. That I'm.
You didn't see the bacon on the rocks, dude? Come on. No, I do think those are real pictures. I just think
You don't think giants ever existed?
no,
No?
I don't think so. I mean, like, how come we don't find like a giant skull or something?
You didn't see the picture?
You didn't see the... Yeah, you didn't see... You don't think they could be hidden from us? I mean, same thing with a dinosaur. How do you know dinosaurs are real? I mean, have you ever seen one?
Yeah, I mean, we just go by based on the fossils and stuff.
But I'm saying, have you seen a fossil? Or have you seen... I mean, you're just going by what they're telling you, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
like museums. I mean,
No, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. In a museum, yeah, what they're telling you, what's being put out there. It's not like you're out there finding a bone.
I don't think you could.
I know my mom. She got all, like she knows like where the dinosaur tracks are, and yeah, you could see them like out there.
No, but that's what I'm saying though. If they are finding giant bones, you don't think they can keep it hush from you?
Well, I mean, why? Why would they do that?
Yeah, well, exactly. Why? But I'm just saying, is it possible?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
Or anything else?
But I mean, you don't think like it would have gotten out, like, because like sometimes fossils are found by random
it
people.
did get out.
There it is, right there.
Okay, well, why can't... Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, because those are more like rock formations that kind of look like it. They didn't look like skulls or anything.
Some did.
I mean, like the shape of them, but like,
Oh, that first one looked like a skull.
That first one looked fake. That one was all like blurry and.
Okay, well, yeah, was it fake or?
Or
I mean,
just,
it looked like
they
a
couldn't
skull.
get a good picture. Oh, it's moving.
It's moving.
You know what I was thinking? Here's another one. I was driving to Albuquerque this weekend, and I mean, if you think of how big a city is compared to the U.S. map, like you can probably fit all the cities in Texas with plenty of room, right?
Maybe, yeah, something. Maybe.
Maybe
No,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
there is a lot of like space where it's just
a
nothing.
lot of space.
like a fuckload. Yeah.
Like way more. Like the percentage would be nuts. Like
Yeah,
2%.
open land.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like 20 minutes of city and then 3 hours of nothing. Like,
and then, like when you look to the right or to the left of you, I mean, you can't really go far. Like in a car. I mean, what? Like, how do you know what's out there?
what do you mean?
Yeah. Like if you're on I-10 and you just bust a right and you go 8 hours into the desert or into the,
How do you know where you're going?
or what do you know? How do you know what's out there? Could there be a secret city out there that you don't know of?
Like Area 51.
Or just, well, they know of Area 51, but I'm just saying,
I mean,
like,
I think that's possible, but
Or
like the government would go right away and fucking tax your ass. So you can't be having a city here. Like,
no, maybe it's their city.
Yeah, I guess you can. No, you don't think like humans go everywhere where they would have like found it or stumbled upon it or something?
and I'm sure like on planes
but
and
how do you
stuff
get
like
there?
that,
Or,
you
but
would-
you can't. I mean,
like it would be like
that's
a
what I'm saying.
no.
How would you get there? Like if you're on I-10, you're 4 hours out of El Paso, and then you just make a quick right. I mean, a lot of them have like that barbed wire, or they have something where you can't drive unless. I mean, yeah, you can break it, but then you're like in some kind of
Yeah,
all-terrain.
hills and.
You would need some kind of 4x4.
Oh yeah,
Or-
maybe a 4x4 wouldn't even get through that. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure a 4x4 would stop. Because then you'll look in the distance and you'll see like a mountain, and you can't see what's past that mountain.
well, how are those people at that city getting there? They just live there. Or what?
No, but I'm saying,
How would you know? Like, how would
yeah,
you get there
if
to know?
yeah, if there was a city out there, obviously they'd have a way to get there. But I'm just saying, how would anybody? How would we know what's out there?
I guess just you gotta check, right? Like physically,
I feel like
because
they're.
you could fly. Like I
they're-
could
yeah,
just
and they're-
get a private plane, right, and just kind of fly around the area. I guess, or I don't.
But
know.
even flying, you don't have. You have certain places you can fly. It's not like I can get a private airplane and just fly. Like I'm sure they give you shit with airspace.
fuck it.
Like a.
But no, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works, but I know there's like no fly zones and this and that, and yeah, you can't just go into the air like that. Like you need permission and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just wondering that. I mean, because I'm just saying that most of the U.S. is uncharted land. Like, it really is. I mean, we're restricted to the roads that we're given.
Yeah.
There might be giants out there, right? I mean, there could be a giant out there. You never see it, right?
Okay, Xander, he's becoming crazy.
Okay, not giants, but dinosaurs. You think there could be dinosaurs out
There's
there?
dragons out there. Like,
Oh, for sure there's dragons.
it's like on old maps where it's like here lie dragons or whatever.
Cyclopses.
Cyclops. The New Jersey devil.
The chupacabra. He's like the taxi driver.
Is there wild animals out there that you can go hunt? Because you could even when you hunt, you're hunting on land that you can hunt on.
Or do they just start walking?
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
Yeah, what happens if you start walking?
At some point, is someone going to be like, "Hey, halt! Like you can't pass." Like,
Yeah, what would happen? How far can you walk?
and we're gonna have to do this hike for next week's podcast.
But I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? Like how far? Because I would look to my right and you would see mountains off to the distance, and I mean, I can't judge how far they were, but the fact that it's blocking my view, like who knows what's further, or anything can be further, and you wouldn't know. I mean, you can't fly a drone out there from the.
Well, maybe if you wanted to, you could drive. If you want to see what's on the other side of that mountain, you could drive all the way around and see what's on the other side of that mountain. Maybe there's not a road, in the middle, but I mean, like Trans Mountain, you could see one side and then you could see another. I mean, you could do the same thing for
No, but off I-10, there's no. I mean, yeah, there's small. I mean, yeah, a lot of times there's no city or anything. There's no road to turn on. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Like, I mean, most of the land is uncharted, and we honestly have no access to. Like you said, yeah, you're gonna park. Where would you park? At a rest stop and just walk. I mean, I guess
right?
you could
Get a horse or something. Just fucking. Or I would just, I guess, a plane. But yeah, like you said, like I don't know.
Yeah, where would the plane leave from? El Paso, and then you just start going to where there's no. I mean, that'd be ballsy too, right? Or
I mean, I'm sure you could cover some ground going from one place to another, no? I'm sure a city would pop up.
A lost city of Atlantis is out there.
yeah, I don't know. Or just I don't know, like wildlife. Is there like wildlife, or is there? I mean,
Like a
depends on
pocket of life that we've never seen before, a little hidden valley or something.
Yeah, if there's
right? Like,
you know, there's obviously there has to be like deer. And there
Yeah,
has to be
anywhere
stuff.
that there's no humans, obviously there's some kind of wildlife. Like even if it's just bugs or like bugs exist here, like they're gonna exist everywhere. There's ants. If it's not
So then there's
this
some
bug,
places where humans have not touched.
I'm sure there is. But man, from what I've heard, like we've been almost everywhere. But like, yeah, I'm sure there's got to be places where.
like what do you mean? Like technically a foot has never been in this spot, or just more like
Just even like in
there's
the
a-
area, like the whole like.
Yeah, because I'm saying even if you want to
Miles
go
or-
hunting, you go hunting where they tell you can go hunting. If you go camping, you go camping where they tell you can go camping, and there's obviously people have.
I think probably most of those places would be like in the Arctic, no, or something crazy like that, where it's rough. I think like around the warmer parts of the world, I feel like humans have probably like been, maybe not like in every spot, like exactly, but for the most part, I think, right? I would assume.
like I feel like it's just like a
It would still be the same, just nothing, just bugs.
or yeah, like you're almost describing like a movie scene. Like you go out there into the middle of the desert and there's just like a door or something. Right? Like
Yeah,
you're
with
saying
a door.
you're saying like just something like that, right?
Or yeah, I mean, I
Like
don't
a
know.
goat.
How does anybody know what's out there? Is what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, the only people would know is the people that been there or heard about
Which
it.
is who? That's what I'm saying. Who's nobody? That's what I'm saying. You
Well,
don't
I mean, I could know if I go out there, walk 4 hours, go put something, walk all the way back. I'm the only one that knows it's there. And to me, that's, you know, I mean, I guess someone, maybe in 100 years, crosses over and finds it. I mean, just like the people
But
who
that's
go
what I'm
like,
saying, who does that? Nobody does. Like nobody.
Well,
I mean, we're
like-
we're just taking that for granted.
well, like even people who go like out in the middle of nowhere and bury bodies. I'm sure they're not going out there to the campgrounds like.
But obviously
this
they've
is
got to
the-
go somewhere that a road can get you to, and then obviously they can't go.
Well, yeah, I
You know,
don't.
they don't have.
Yeah, I get you. Like they can't carry the body across the trenches and mountains. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So you think about, what do you think about like maps of like the world or the country or the state or whatever? You think kind of like.
Well, no, that's
those-
what I'm going by. Yeah, the map. Look at the map, and look, everything is uncharted land.
No, but I'm saying like you think.
And I don't even think it's like, what do you mean like I'm sure they've or yeah, I guess you're going off their mapping of it. But yeah, if you look like
Yeah, you're
even
going
like
by somebody else's map. That's
like
what
a
I'm saying.
geography map, like you could see like there's a mountain here, and maybe if I can't even see past that, there's a mountain
So,
here.
so that's what I'm saying. Like,
There's-
do you think maps are fake? Like because you're just
Oh no, I'm not even saying it's fake. Or yeah, but I'm just
like you
saying.
said, like oh I can't see past that mountain. How do I know what's really there? And the map tells you, but it's like maybe like you're going by someone else's.
Okay, but yeah, you get a map, and obviously you know there's a city in that direction. But what's to tell you what's in between that city? Because those cities are so far. I'm saying, why couldn't there be another hidden city there? Or why couldn't there be?
I could see that, but I think people would find it.
I feel like
somehow, right? I think
you're
it
just
would
talking
just-
about like this almost sounds like Men in Black or something like that.
No, I'm just saying we
Like-
take everything for granted that we're we're being told. And then even just like when I'm driving, I just looked off and I just saw the distance and how far it is, and I just thought like, oh, furthest I can see is that mountain. What's right behind it, or what can be there, or I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's always going to be a limit, right, to how far you could see, like, even if there's nothing
or
there.
Yeah,
like
how far you can go, right? Because, yeah, like you said, we can, and I can walk 4 miles, but nobody does that. Like,
and that reminds me of a thought I had driving to work today. And so I take the loop, it's just, for miles in every direction, it's just desert. And, like, I drive for, 10, 15 miles, and all that's just still desert in every direction. So I was thinking, man, like, if I shot somebody and I just picked a random spot when there was no traffic to stop, jump that fence and just bury the gun like a foot in a random area in the desert, how would they ever find that? Like, they can kind of be like, okay, he's known to go through this area here, we could look here, but man, it's miles and miles of just nothing, of desert, and everything, it's just dunes, all look the same. Like, how would they randomly just stumble upon where I stashed the gun or the body or something? Like,
yeah, that it would be very slim, but not impossible if you can get there within a day's time or something.
Yeah, like they would look in all the areas where I could
or
possibly
even just
be.
Somebody would stumble upon it being out there. Somebody else just playing around in the desert because it's close to a city. But I'm saying, how about if you were to go walk where I'm talking about and bury getting out there? Nobody would ever find that.
Like, so that's even more like, damn.
Like if you just went to a rest stop, nobody would know that car is abandoned. It's just a car at a rest stop, and you just started walking. I don't know if you'd get lost. You'd probably get fucking lost unless you had some kind of GPS.
Yeah, it's just miles of, like...
I wonder if you would even get, like, flagged something, or, like, someone would,
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, what's out there? Like what would something be?
Definitely not a gun or body that I've stored out there.
Okay, now
And if I did, I'd like to see you
real.
find it. I'll just say somewhere in between mile marker 83 and 473.
And if you've hit the secret city, you've gone too far.
We are in uncharted territory. Earth logs hottest week on Earth.
I've been hearing about that.
On record. Earth logs hottest week on record. What is it? Earth logs hottest week on Earth. On record.
On record.
What about that?
That's crazy.
You think global warming is real? And or caused by humans?
See, that goes to, well, yeah, I would think we're so small that we can't really influence it. But I really don't know the...
Man, there's a lot of us, though.
Yeah, but there's a lot of land.
A lot of Uncharted.
There's a lot of...
Damn.
Like, for how many people there are in trees, like...
I've even heard that, like, a big, I guess I do believe in global warming and that humans contribute to it. But I've heard that a big part of it is, like, all the, the cattle and the livestock that we keep for food and stuff.
Yeah, that's horrible.
And that they, like, fart and
Yeah.
burp and they release gas, and apparently that is, like, a big, like, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's huge. Always, that's like a presidential debate, no? Aren't they always like... how to stop the... Because, yeah, I remember learning... It was either science. Yeah, I don't think social study.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think there's more animals living out in the wild, like in those uncharted areas, or you think we have most of them living?
No, I think most of them are out there.
You think?
Yeah.
Honestly?
Yeah.
So,
I'm
imagine all
sure-
the farts they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's like,
I do think,
Cows.
like, with cattle and stuff, we have more. But, like, animals in general, yeah, I think, like...
Yeah, it's not like you have like 1,000 skunks or something like that.
Like, there's more, like, dogs amongst human communities than there is out in the wild, I think. I would assume.
Yeah, for sure. More cats. But yeah, out there...
Cats
there's
that
gonna-
maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of stray cats.
Okay, well,
But,
maybe...
like, but I guess they're still amongst, like, us. Like, they're not, like, in the middle of nowhere.
You don't think they could be out there?
And I'm
I mean,
sure it's
yeah,
so.
I'm sure there are, but
And
like,
I'm sure it's
not
so
that many.
concentrated too. Like, you know, like there's 100,000 cats here at this one city, but across this whole Uncharted area,
Yeah,
there's
like 100 or something. Yeah, like,
like something just divided more evenly.
man, where I think, I guess is a little bit unrelated, kind of, but like where I think we're like just crazy outnumbered is bugs. Man, there's got to be like 1 billion bugs for every human on Earth, right? I don't know, like the bugs are everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Like
There's
even
gotta
where
be-
humans are, there's bugs.
Okay, so how about this one? Every time you drive on a distance like that, you come back, there's a lot of bugs on your car, right? So imagine all the traffic that's coming by. So how many bugs do you think are killed?
Oh man,
So that's what I'm saying. If you go to a spot that's 10 miles or 100 miles away from humans, you don't think there's just so many bugs there?
Yeah.
Or,
like, you said, like how many? Like, you think how many get killed with all the traffic? It's got to be a crazy number, but I think it doesn't even make a dent in the population of the bugs out there.
in that area?
Yeah.
No, you don't think it makes a dent?
Nah, like this. I mean, you're hitting on that road, but imagine everywhere, like you said, the miles.
Yeah, so that's
of
what I'm
nothing,
saying. So
like,
yeah, when you
fuck.
go march somewhere deep, that thing would be infested with the bugs. And over time, because all those bugs that aren't dying, out there they're reproducing and making more. So over,
They're
maybe
just surviving off the land.
yeah,
yeah,
but
those areas would be crazy.
I think they are crazy. Like I think a lot of them hide. Like they're not like at night they'll come out more. And I'm telling you, that one time I went,
Rats, mice, there would be everything. You don't think?
Oh, for sure.
I think they are out there.
Yeah, and then there would be like coyotes,
A lot.
or I mean, wherever you're at, like.
Yeah, and then
depending
there's
on
like the food chain that kind of keeps everything in balance, right? I guess. And there's,
As long as there's
man.
water, there's got to be some kind of life thriving.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's like that too. Like the closer you are to one water source, I'm sure there's a lot more, and then so there's kind of some
yeah,
ways.
like I was telling you guys when I went camping at that at Lake Caballo Lake at night. Oh my God! Like I turn on my car's headlights so we can kind of see where we're like the tent so we can walk to it. Like a cloud. It looked like foggy, but it was just a cloud of bugs. Like millions. Like you're walking through them, like and like your body's making an imprint in the cloud of bugs. Like it was horrible. I've never seen so many bugs like all at once.
Yeah, I saw a guy in the Everglades. It's like that too. Like he's just in a huge thing, and he's walking through it with his phone. And yeah, there's just like just,
That's
and
so
he's
weird.
walking, and it just keeps. He's like, yeah, a bunch of, whatever he calls them.
Gnats.
Yeah, like
Gnats.
Everglades and all those places are huge.
Yeah,
Giant
see, like
crocodiles. Is there stuff that people just haven't?
this is a normal part of your life. Like,
And I mean, I'm sure there's times out there where they find like a crocodile that they haven't seen. Like it's already like 14 or 15, and it's huge. And maybe the most recent crocodile is only what 22. Or I don't know, 22. I'll just
I'm
say
just saying, even like when you're in the Everglades, like if you work there and you patrol there, you can only get so far on your fuel and come back. I'm sure the Everglades keep going, and yeah, I'm sure, maybe there's no need to explore that far. But yeah, you really don't. Like if you go to the Everglades, do you think there's more area of it that has been explored or that has not been explored?
Okay, so like what about this too? You think there's like a out there in the ocean there could be like a little island, and that island has
man, I'm sure there's islands out there, right, that we've never discovered in the middle of the ocean.
just like it would be like the littlest piece of rock, but it's like an island. Maybe it's the size
I'm
of
saying
Zaragoza.
if you do have, which we don't. That's what I'm saying. If you do have some kind of technology can probably spot those. We can't. And anything that we're told, we have to believe. I guess that's what I'm saying. We're being told what to believe our world looks like. But yeah, exactly. You would think out in the ocean, I mean, there could be. Who's to tell you there's not islands with, I don't know, just different people or different intelligence, or I mean, it could be, right? I mean,
Man, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an island out there with people that we haven't discovered. You know what's crazy too? Like all the, is it Polynesia? Like Polynesia, Oceania, all those areas right there next to, like, in between Asia and like Australia, I guess, or whatever. Man, there's a lot of random islands out there, and yeah, where the Polynesians live, or wherever you call them, and like they're like usually like of Asian descent. So like people, and they've had like history there. They could trace back humans like being in those islands since, I don't know, hundreds of years ago, thousands, I don't know. So what's crazy is that at some point, people had to have traveled from the mainland, like, you know, Asia and all that, just across on miles and miles of nothing of ocean on some shitty little fucking prehistoric boat and land there and then be good and start a civilization. That's insane. Like,
Yeah, so how many people do you think, like, to settle those, yeah, exactly, to have the balls to get on a ship? What are the chances? Like, there's more nothing than there is something. So what are the chances of hitting an island?
yeah, they have no, yeah, exactly. Like, they don't know what's out there. They can't look up on Wikipedia. Like, there's just hopefully some's out there. Let's go.
With telescope, right? When you're the first guy doing it.
Ah, but even then, how far could you see? Like, could you see an island?
I'm saying that's all you have. That's the best thing you have is
Like a rolled up bamboo leaf, right? Like, or something. Like,
I swear there was some way that they knew that there was land over there, no?
I'm sure they started figuring out certain ways to do it, but man, like
how would you figure? I mean,
I don't even
I
know.
could see as you're cruising, if you start seeing birds, I'm sure there's little signs that you can tell.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's something close, but I'm saying for how big on the map we show the ocean is, and you left. Yeah, chances are
it's like another Australia in between Australia and them. Like, it's a whole fucking.
You're probably going to hit another continent before you hit an island.
Yeah, right. So the fact that they even hit those islands, like, is it lucky
Yeah, like,
and insane to begin
I
with?
imagine like that story you said where that guy ate the other guy.
Yeah.
Right, and then he got so lucky that he hit like the tiniest island,
Yeah.
and he would have been
happened
like
to
this huge.
Yeah, that
thing
dude
of
happened
ocean.
to. Remember that one I was telling you about, where I think it was like two Peruvian fishermen.
And he
and
ate
they
the other guy.
They got lost at sea. Like, they spent too long, too far, and like they got cocky, I guess, or whatever. And by the time the tide was coming in, or whatever the fuck, they couldn't escape. So they got launched into the ocean for, I think it was like years, like 2 years or some shit like that. I'm not too sure. Yeah, one of them died, and then the other guy eats him. And then there was like the family sued him and all this bullshit. But yeah, he one of the guys survived because he landed on like a really small island, and it was populated by people. They had like an airport there and everything.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, they show it on the map, and it's like he's going from here, and I guess like I'm thinking, man,
Like,
he's going from like, I forgot where exactly he was going, but he was gonna hit another continent eventually, and he was only halfway there. And he happened to hit like a tiny little island. So yeah, if he would have missed that island by a few miles, he would have just another 2 years just stuck in the fucking water. Like, super lucky. Like,
Yeah, and it's not like an island has a current that draws you to it or anything, right? I mean,
yeah, I don't think so. I think, yeah, maybe he saw it and started kind of like paddling that way or something.
but how many people miss that?
Yeah, I'm saying like those people that, like the Polynesians or whatever, that went from mainland Asia to all those countries, like how many of them didn't make it and just didn't hit anything and then just died
You
out
would
there?
think more, yeah, or they.
And then the first person to make it over there, and then to come back and tell.
Right, like, fuck, I'm here, it's awesome. Now what do I do?
Yeah, and these people are like, oh yeah, they never know.
Can send them a
until
text
they
message
come
or
back.
like, hey, I made it. Like,
No, yeah, you couldn't send. You'd have to, and you mapped the whole way there. And you go back, and at least now you have a map on how to get there.
But did he really map it though? Right? Is that map, bro?
No, they had to map it because that's how you find it again. Unless, right? It's not just a bunch of people piling up.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like you got there, right? Do you just wait till someone hopefully makes it also? Like, oh, nice, now I got another. Or do you say, fuck it, let's go back?
Well, I'm sure.
And now I kind of mapped it. We can do it again.
Well, they even do that. Like, it's a whole crew. No?
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying. It's
then
probably
people-
crews with different ships where some keep going, some stay, some go back. Maybe, I don't know.
Fuck, that's so. Like, all right, we made it. Time to go back.
Right.
Hopefully. Like,
And then you guys keep. I think getting back would be easy.
damn, you go back. You tell everyone. You bring a bunch of people, and you go back, and one dude just raped and killed everybody. Like, oh, you fucking serious?
Who left Charlie? He told you not to leave Charlie.
I told you not
He
to
was
leave
on-
Charlie alone with this guy.
He was on the do not board list.
Yeah, man. Like you said, I had the balls to do that. Like, and I guess you had no choice. What else are you gonna do?
That's why we celebrate what's his name? Christopher Columbus Day? For having the biggest balls in US history.
Is that just like in human, in our instinct to just, like, I mean,
To explore?
to explore. If you're on an island and you look out and you just see blue, man, to think like, oh, I'm gonna go over there, like what's even say like there's anywhere to go? I mean, obviously you can kind of go far, but you don't want to lose sight of where you're.
And like, you know what looks good over there?
See all that nothing?
I want to go.
I want to see
I wanna
what's
see
over
it
there.
closer.
And I'm willing to risk my life.
Yeah, I guess it is just
And
human
then
nature to do
Everybody's
that.
like, I'm with you. All right, I'm with you. Let's. I guess back then you don't need fuel. You're just relying on.
You still need to
Well, you
eat.
need fuel. You need fuel for yourself to
Yeah.
keep you alive. And how much do you even take?
Just a bunch of lemons.
Or do you plan it? Because obviously you have to navigate right with the stars. Once you reached a certain point and you realize your food was halfway, do you go back? Knowing like, all right, I can get us back, or do you just say like, keep going forward?
Man, they probably did both.
Huh?
They probably did both, but
What would you do?
That's insane. I don't know. I'll probably go back.
You?
Well, I'd have to be out there to see.
But then you were only like 2 miles away from
Yeah,
a brand new
you're-
world.
Right?
I would have to see if my crew still has kids back on the homeland, or Bobby needs to return to his wife.
All right, who gets eaten first? Now, if there's one animal you could bring back from extinction, which one would it be?
Or do we don't even know they're extinct? Maybe they're not extinct.
I think mine would be the megalodon.
Megalodon.
Oh, that's definitely still alive.
Damn. Really?
You don't think?
You think the Loch Ness monster's still alive too?
I feel like we would have found a megalodon because supposedly, like if you believe in like the fossil record and all that, they're huge, like whale sized.
You don't think there's whales out there that we've seen every whale? I guess you don't have to see every one, but
I mean, that's what I was saying too. Like, how this one was the biggest one that we have on record, and then out of nowhere, a brand new one pops up, 24 feet. But yeah, he was alive for 14 years, so obviously he's been bigger than this one that long. But this is just the biggest, like, currently discovered.
yeah, but there could be giant.
Yeah.
There could be giant sharks. Because there's more ocean than there is land, isn't there?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I 100% believe that there's a fuckload of life and crazy shit in the ocean that we've never discovered. We haven't seen yet. Maybe, I don't know about whales. I feel like maybe with that size we would have found some kind of evidence of it. But maybe. But that there's definitely like all types of crazy shit we haven't discovered. Like they just recently started like. Have you seen that squid they discovered? Or like, it's like it looks like a crazy giant squid. I forgot what it's called. And then like it looks like it has like arms that come out and then they bend. And like when it bends, they go down and they're like hundreds of feet long.
Damn.
And it looks like super crazy, like a.
What's it called? Yeah, picture.
Let me see if I could find. I forgot what it's called. This is the squid they discovered recently. Let me see.
Damn, it's totally alien looking.
Ew. Yeah, and like the legs go for like they're long. Like
Yeah,
they-
super long.
You can't even see the bottom of them. And yeah, they're like super deep. I think this is an oil rig, and they're like super deep down. Yeah, and that was the first time that
Oh, and they're not
squid
even
has
that
ever
deep.
been. They're not that deep.
Like compared to how much
Like, yeah, look at the tentacles.
No, I'm saying,
Yeah, they're not like at the bottom of those.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm sure if you see how deep a submarine can go.
How long is it?
Yeah, right.
It's crazy. Oh yeah, there's way more. It gets fucking.
Man, that looks like an
Brutal.
alien. I would be so scared. Like, oh my gosh, is that an underwater alien? It's freaky. It almost look like a horror movie or something.
Yeah, look, yeah, right.
Even look at the footage. What seems more practical, that they can't get footage of underwater and what's going on, but yet they can have pictures of Mars.
I mean, they do have, like, we just saw some.
Yeah, look at the. It's like,
Right, he couldn't focus on it. He's like, oh, where is it?
no, I mean, but just it was like not in color. It wasn't HD. I mean, look at the ones what we see of Mars. You know, that thing looks.
You know, I think, like, it could be that they purposely, like they make cameras to see that, whereas the ones there aren't to, like, get amazing images. They're just for, like, practicality. But and that's a good point, though. I wonder if there are, like, pictures of underwater life like that, like with amazing, like,
Camera, like
cameras
yeah,
that are
like
made
deep,
for.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I'm
why
sure
can't
there
we?
are. Like, maybe, like, some of those, like, documentaries about, like, deep water or whatever, and, like, there's some good footage.
Or even how they say that there's a lot of it that's never been documented, or there's a lot they don't know, and it's like, yeah, you have a camera that looks at stars and galaxies and planets, and you give us these pictures that we're supposed to believe, and yet you can't figure out where you live, or you definitely have to have a camera that can do that, right? Or no?
Yeah, I looked up photos or like of the sea above air, but yeah, it just gave me like already in the water. I mean, yeah, that would be hard to.
Yeah, the ocean just seems, like, hard to deal with. Huh?
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
Or yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, why is it harder than space? Space seems harder to me.
You don't think there's like so much? Well, I mean, I guess there's like is there asteroids and stuff like that, but like the fish, like how the bugs are. You think the fish is like that? Like if you look down, there's so many fish. Like if you look down, it'll just look like a sea of fish. You get me what I'm saying? Like there's just so many overlapped over each other, looking down, straight down.
I don't know. I've heard that the ocean's pretty sparse.
Is it?
I don't know if that's true or not, but, like, yeah, like you said, like, it's just like here, like, it's just a whole lot of nothing. And, like, yeah, there'll probably be, like, maybe pockets or little areas where there's, like, a lot of life, and then kind of spread
Somewhere
out.
where there's water.
So, wherever there's water. And, how would we judge, like, the population of tuna out there?
Yeah, can you? Or,
Can you take, like, a census of, like, all the tuna? Like, how would you do that?
it's a lot of ocean, right?
And what if we're like, oh, we're overfishing the tuna, but they just learn, like, fuck that, stay away from those boats, dude. You don't come back. Like, I haven't heard from Fred since last Tuesday, man.
I wonder how like it's been slow here in El Paso. Like over there, like in the ocean, the fishermen are like throwing the nets in and coming up. Man, there's nothing. Like it's right. Do you think? Right, they could tell maybe if something.
If something was.
Maybe that's a sign not to talk about.
You know, like, it's a slow week for the hunter. I was like, fuck, man, all these bears don't go out no more.
Do people eat bear? No, huh?
I think people do eat bear.
I think more people than we know eat bear. That we're being told, right? More people eat bear than we're being told. Like, yeah, you think there's just a lot of bear out there? Like,
Oh, for
in
sure.
some spot?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of bears. They don't
'Cause
really
there's,
get
like-
fucked with, I guess.
There's rivers that run through the United States that have to be huge rivers, right? And I mean, I guess they're mapped. But I mean, there's a lot of water. And I think whenever there's water, there's definitely life.
There's bears catching salmon, like, jumping upstream.
Wild horses are just a place of wild horses, or those days are gone, or
Are there wild horses around? Like, is that still a thing?
I think so. I mean, how would you? I don't know.
That right? You're doing your 4-mile walk and then you find a horse. Like, oh shit! Now I could ride.
That
it
would be
in.
so weird, like to see a horse. Like, okay,
Would it?
like,
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
it just feels like, I guess, because they're just so like domesticated, right? Yeah, it'd be like if you're like out in the middle of nowhere, you're dying, your shirt is wrapped around your head with pee on it, and you just stumble upon like a Yorkie. Like that'd be so fucking weird, right?
Or
Like,
even all like trimmed up. Like, oh man, you just passed the.
yeah, just a wild Yorkie. Like,
They're wild Yorkies. I could see in the Midwest a wild Yorkie.
A domesticated cat.
I could see a cat, like a Yorkie. Yeah, right, a Yorkie.
Yeah, I think there's still wild horses, right? There has to be wild horses. There's a song about it, right?
Is there? Because horses are not from America, right? They were brought from Europe.
Yeah, I think so.
And so are there American stallions just out there?
Like even when they give you land to hunt on, you know, they know how many deer are there and they know when they're low. But I mean, how about all the area around them like that's not accounted for? Right? I mean, there's got to be way more land.
There's got to be a point where like they don't take care of everything. Like,
Yeah, right. This is for this area.
you know, so you just like walk a couple of yards out the area and you can shoot where everything's game. Like,
And there's a lot, right?
did you ever go hunting like that? Like get some wild game?
I've never been hunting.
No. Would you go? Like, could you look a deer straight in his face and shoot him in the head?
Could you take the shot?
I'd hit the shot.
I'd hit the shot.
I'd
already.
hit it. Yeah, I think I could. But it just seems too expensive to get into, and I don't know if I'd want to give up. But I think that would be cool to shoot it and have its meat. I mean, to eat it, for sure.
I don't even want the meat. I just want to shoot one. Like,
That would suck, but yeah, if you're
I would want to shoot it in the leg and then go over there and slit its throat.
Jesus. I don't think I'd be able to do it.
no.
No, I don't think I would feel bad.
Like that show I'm watching, that Dual Survivor. Man, they just keep changing both characters, and now it's another hippie guy. But this one can hunt, so he has the respect of the military guy.
He's like a tough hippie guy.
Yeah, he's a tough hippie guy. He eats meat. So he finds an animal, and he has this weird weapon. I forget what. It's the stick that throws the other stick. It's like a weird.
Like nunchucks almost? Or?
No, it's like a stick with a little groove that he puts his spear on the stick, and then
Oh, okay. Okay.
Adelaide.
I don't even know what it's called. But I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so that's what he has, and he throws it, and he hits this pig-looking thing, and he hits it good, and you can tell it's dying. And then as soon as he hits it, the military guy grabs the spear too, and he's rushing it, and the hippie guy, is telling him like, "No, let him die! Don't do it!" And then the hippie guy runs, and he starts just bashing it to death. And then the hippie dude gets all mad, and he's all like, "Man, I hit him with a good shot." And at that point, I just want to give the guy, you know, the animal his space so he can die peacefully. Which is kind of weird. Like, how do you die peacefully? But
Oh,
I guess, you know, he just
Spear
wants
through
to
your
give it
heart.
its space to die and to honor it. And then this guy comes in and just hacks.
Beats it to death.
So he gets all mad at this guy for that. And the military guy is like, "I'm securing the kill. Like, you hit it. My job is to secure the kill. I'm not letting this."
Securing the kill.
His whole mentality is different.
Damn.
And the other guy's all pissed because he
He stole my kill. He disturbed the...
and he'll even talk about like how he's like, "Yeah, I'm more of the nature guy, and you know, I'm tippy toeing, and you know, the first night I'm here, I don't kill anything in honor of the
Damn.
jungle." And he's like, and this guy, he's just like a tank, just destroying everything in his path.
Just beating turkeys to death with a club. I'm like,
Yeah, I'd have a hard time taking the shot. But I mean, I'll eat a McChicken any day or a McDouble.
would you feel better if you could choke out the deer to death?
Jeez. Damn, yeah, and then I'd have to slit its throat, right?
Why do you have to slit its throat?
I remember I saw something where these people got in trouble because they got a turkey and it was still alive or something, and they threw it in the oven like that.
What?
Damn, that's brutal.
Yeah, you can't do that. Cook all the insides and all that.
Feathers. Yeah, what's the point?
And they were talking about that when it's dying, like I guess like you fall asleep almost or you knock out and then you die. It's not like you like just die. And when you're dying like that in the oven, but then you get like the smelling salts and wake it back up.
The longer it's alive, the tenderer the meat.
To get the adrenaline. It's the best when the adrenaline's.
It's horrible.
Like somebody was telling me about Kevin Spacey. And I guess he's not drinking adrenochrome anymore, and now he looks like super old.
Oh, damn it. Age is catching up with him.
He's just catching up.
Adrenochrome? What's that?
Oh, no.
Baby cells or what?
Baby, the adrenaline off, or the blood of babies with
Like
the high
adrenaline,
adrenaline.
and like stem cells in it or some shit.
Tom Cruise is still on him. Huh?
It looks great. It's working for him.
Tom Brady.
I need to ask my plug if he knows where to get some adrenochrome.
Right? All this talk about smelly fridges and uncharted land. Huh?
And adrenochrome?
Would you rather be stuck at uncharted land or have a smelly fridge?
Smelly fridge. You?
Damn, but it's like smelly fridge for life.
Oh, man.
Like it's just like you have a smelly fridge. That's rough.
You can never find the smell.
Yeah, you can never find the source of the smell. Like,
Damn, that's rough, but just being in uncharted land, you're dead.
man, but if you happen to escape, your
What
problems
are your
are done.
chances?
Better than getting rid of that smelly fridge smell.
I don't know. After all these dual survivor you've seen, I'm sure you would survive pretty good.
Damn.
No, you won't survive pretty good.
No, yeah, we would die.
It depends
Yeah.
what you got out there.
That's what I'm saying. You don't even know what you got out there.
Just that first night, like no pillow.
I feel like
Starbucks, right?
No Starbucks.
if you have that dog in you, I'm sure you could do it.
Dog in you.
It's not even about that.
The only way you'd survive is if you find a wild Yorkie and
But yeah,
help you out.
you have to get lucky though. I'm sure it's like
Like if you like when I'm watching the show, they'll they were in Utah. Like I mean, they say they're in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where they're at. You know, I don't
uncharted land. We're in uncharted lands.
He sees a stream, and then the hippie guy starts drinking it, and then the military guy is like, "Oh, the number one rule is you don't drink water." And then the guy's like, "Why? Like, there's nothing out here." Like,
Was it still water? Or it was like moving?
it was like, yeah, it was coming off like a little waterfall spring kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, if they really are in the middle of nowhere, I mean, what could possibly touch? I mean, are they like dead animals in the water or animal urine or
I mean, just like everything that affects us, like it's out there. It started out there, right? Like I'm sure there's probably shit,
Drinks the water, gets AIDS.
like a brain-eating amoeba or some shit, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah, and then I saw that in that show that these guys, they're catered lunch and dinner every day. Sometimes they sleep in hotels, and
They get Uber Eats.
they get Uber Eats. And then when they're hunting all these animals, that the animals are put there
Oh man, so that fucking pig thing got beat to death
like they didn't even hunt it.
Ah. I thought this guy respected nature and was.
But then
all-
these guys do say it's hard to hunt with a cameraman following you too.
Yeah, for sure, right? The big like boom mic. Like, yeah, right.
Can we reshoot that angle?
Cut. All right, go back to where you were.
Get the salt. Wake up the
Unslit your
animal.
throat. Get over there. Man, I wonder how real those shows can be.
I was telling Noah I do want to get wood from my backyard and see if I can do build a fire by hand.
I've never made a fire by hand.
Who has, right? If you have
No, it's because I made a fire out like in the woods like that with camping. But I'm trying to think if we had like a tool, like something that made sparks.
That little survivor knife I have, that it has that little thing that you hit and it shoots sparks.
Guess you guys have never been a Boy Scout.
Do they make it by hand? No. I'm saying like 2 pieces of wood doing like...
Yeah, that's how you get your fire patch. Start your own fire.
How did you do it?
No, I was never a Boy Scout.
And there's different contraptions they build. Because this looks like that's like one of the hardest ways. There's one where they do looks like a bow and arrow and you're just moving it. And the string and the way it's tied, it's making that thing spin.
I saw a way with like if you have a knife and the dude cuts like wood, but like he cuts along it like really thin, so he gets like these little like curly strips.
Yeah, the curly.
And then those light really easily.
Yeah.
And I guess like if you have like the right rock with your knife, you can kind of like smack it.
No, I'm saying no knife.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know how you would do it.
What would you do?
Could you instead
Just
of a
start
knife?
rapping to the wood. Like, no, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck you would do it.
You can't get a random piece of metal, right? There's no metal out there.
Yeah, at the Home Depot in the woods.
All right, could you find a metal? Like when you find on the, obviously,
You're not gonna find a piece of metal.
like a caveman.
You think there's just metal like lying around, like we just chunks of steel, like
All the undiscovered metals.
Rocks. You get rocks. Rocks and wood is all you're getting. Minerals and rock.
yeah, the metal would be in the rock, like in small amounts, right? Yeah, what would you do? Like, yeah, you rub 2. Is that real? Like, you rub 2 sticks? Like, what is that? How the fuck?
Yeah, the friction.
It just seems so. It's gotta. I mean, I guess like there's gotta be a way, but it just seems so ridiculous.
But it's all minuscule.
And how do you think the first fire was started?
Lightning? Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
I would think lightning. Like they saw that and they're like, "Oh shit, how do we do that?"
Yeah, how do we, so then how...
Because how would you think like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna rub 2 sticks and make this brand new plasma that's hot. How would they even come up with that?
Yeah, how do you come up with that? Like, even if you do see lightning.
Just maybe like it's hot, so you know, okay, maybe we can try to heat something up, and it'll enough to where it'll, like maybe if you see it, you kind of know its properties a little bit. So
And
kind
then
of
you see it on wood, like, oh...
Oh yeah, like you
of
see
all the
what's burning.
things-
Exactly,
Of
yeah.
all the things it hits, like it doesn't melt the rock, but it eats the wood. So yeah, maybe you get...
And as soon as there's no more wood or stuff to burn, it goes away. Right.
Because yeah, I've seen, like I see them when they do it, they get a piece of wood and then they make an indention in, and then I think they put like sawdust under it. And then you put the other wood that fits on top, and then you spin it so fast
It heats
that
up
it turns the sawdust to like a little coal. So yeah, they'll do that and they'll start smoking, and then I'll see the guy like, right, it's an ember. So it's an ember first, and then they have the little
Kindling or whatever.
kindling with all the shavings, and then you'll put the ember on that.
It'll catch.
But I don't know where the ember comes from. I'm thinking it's the sawdust or
And then they blow on it, right?
yeah, and then you start blowing on it or you put
just
it
the
in the
friction.
air. But I wonder if it has to be specific wood or would any wood work or
I think with any wood it would work, but probably some's easier, like the
Something
drier.
dry.
Yeah, I remember when we were camping, we were trying to make that fire. Like everything was just so moist and humid because it had rained that like man, nothing would catch. Yeah, I think we had like a little tool. Like we did it with hand, and like we made one, but I think we had like like kind of like that one that
like a flint.
yeah, something with like a exactly.
So I see them make that too, and the fact that you're just hitting that and then it jumps and sparks on something is pretty amazing too. I'm thinking that's how their first fire was probably made.
With the spark like that.
A spark. They probably had already kind of seen sparks, and then once they saw the fire, they.
Man, how would you make a? Can you make a sparks with just rock? I'm sure you can, right?
I'm sure certain rocks hit a certain way and do it.
Have you ever seen when I mean,
Well, yeah,
bit
like you're
unrelated.
saying, it has to do like the metal in the rocks. If you find some with high metal,
Find a piece of metal somewhere out there. Piece of...
what were you
No,
saying?
I've seen a little bit unrelated, I guess, but like I've seen where people will get two like steel balls, like I don't know, they just random marbles or whatever, and they'll like put a piece of paper in between them and they'll smack them like on each other, like with the paper in between, and the paper ignites, or like it'll make like a black, like it burns it. So yeah, maybe like if you just smack two rocks hard enough, like you can get a little bit of a.
And I'm thinking they've probably seen that, like throwing rocks or doing stuff that you notice. Oh, these two rocks make a weird thing. Maybe put it together.
I don't think I could put it together.
Or were they shown by someone else?
Damn.
Oh,
Damn.
a giant. Hey, you doing the wrong.
Back then there was like sorcerers and they could just create fire.
Trickster god.
How many people never saw fire?
Like died with never seen fire.
Wow. I was gonna say like the majority of people, but I wonder how early into like human. Like I wonder if humans created fire, or like another like pre-human species.
Like an ape.
Or like unless I guess you don't believe it. Like unless you don't believe like in the pre-human species, but yeah, like a Neanderthal or
at
something.
what point is it not? At what point is it human and it's not?
I guess like because I know the Neanderthals are like it's like a different species.
And you said they were evolved. They all evolved from one.
I think so.
So at
I'm
one
sure that at
point-
some point they were all.
So at one point there was a very first one that had human qualities, and he was the only one alive.
He was the only one that had Starbucks.
I mean, I guess it has to be like that. It's weird to think like when was the first. At what point did like a chicken come out of the egg and it was no longer. It was a chicken, but its mom
So
wasn't a
he
chicken.
was thinking different, and he was just with all these dumb. Like he was smarter than his his mom at age 5, right?
I mean, I think
Like
just the
he
way
was drinking Starbucks, right?
making fires. No, I think the way it would work is like there's no like okay now you're a human, but like at some point we're like all right like they're
some point.
it's kind of arbitrary like it's at some point it's different, it's become so different that we're like all right now we'll just call it something else. Yeah, but there's no like
He started jerking off.
there's no like okay now it's a human or now it's a chicken or whatever. Yeah,
There has to be, because you can say this one isn't. His offspring is.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think they would do that or it works like that. Like
How
at
does
least
it
the
work?
way they.
Even if they're like separate from each other, like I could see where it's happening in multiple locations, but for one tribe, I think there had to be the first one that had that thought.
I think almost like something like I get in a fight with a tiger and my tail gets cut off, and then my children don't have a tail.
No, I'm saying if he thinks at one point we were monkeys, and I think one of the biggest differences between humans and monkeys is the way we think. So if we evolved from a monkey slowly, like who was the very first one that was not a monkey anymore and was now a human? And if there had to be one, he thought he was just living with a bunch of monkeys. Like obviously he was smarter than like his mom and.
But see, I don't think it would be like that either. I think it would be like
Generational. Like the
yeah,
whole-
like he's basically just as smart as his mom, maybe a little bit better, but like just as smart. But like if you were to like take him and like go 50 generations before, then you would start to see a bigger difference. And so yeah, I don't think at some point it's like now he's different, but at some point we'll be like, oh, okay, the ones from 50 generations ago are different enough from these that like we'll just draw the line right here and call this one species and this another.
It's not a shot at you, but sometimes living with you, I feel like I'm living with a monkey.
No, but I'm saying now.
I could see like maybe like
Like self-realization.
like yeah.
You know, the thing that makes us think different than like. I can see that being a slow progress where they're getting more intelligence, but when you're just suddenly self-aware or you're.
I don't know. I think there's like varying levels of self-awareness. I don't think it's like one day we just turned on. I think like, because I think animals and other apes and stuff like that, I think they're conscious in a way that, like how we are, but it's just not as advanced. So I just think it slowly gets more advanced to the point where I don't know. I don't think there's a moment where like you turn on. I think it's always a little bit
Or
kind
like
of there.
maybe like a baby too. Like just say somehow a baby was to survive on its own without talking to mankind, I'm sure it would be like that. No, where it's not like, oh, I feel sad right now, but it's almost something like it's just scared, or like it's not realizing me, I am scared, but it's just like the self. Is that what you're kind of talking about too, like the self-realization? Or you're saying?
Yeah,
Right,
like
'cause it-
something that just like we are saying earlier, like who's the first guy that looked out to the sea and realized I want to travel over there? Like animals don't have that instinct, right? Like that's more of a human instinct. And yeah, who was the very first one that had that train of thought that I'm not an animal anymore, that I'm different? There had to be one that had that first thought.
Well, I'm sure that happened everywhere, no? Were those people maybe in Asia? Or did people
But
originate?
that's what I'm saying. For
Adam
a
and-
tribe of, if you believe in evolution, there's obviously a tribe of monkeys, and at one point, one of them thinks I'm not a monkey anymore. Right?
I'm a human.
I'm a human. That's what it says in the book.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real human.
And then he had to fuck a monkey, right?
All there is monkeys. Fuck.
Get what you get.
Right? When was the first thought? Like, fuck, I need to fuck a monkey.
There had to be that
Fuck, man.
thought.
Like,
And then his kid was probably smart. Like I can see that.
oh, my dad fucked a monkey. Like,
My mom's a monkey.
and who's he gonna fuck? Like,
Yeah, another monkey.
Another monkey.
So right. Or does another one randomly
man.
pop out too? Like, hey, my dad fucked monkeys too.
That's fun.
You want to fuck, so we don't have to fuck.
And he was
monkeys?
the first one to actually fuck another human. Like, hey, he's the first one that didn't fuck a monkey.
Look.
Right, that had to happen, right? At one point, we
Some dude was fucking a monkey. Like,
at some point we separated ourselves from them, right?
But I thought Adam and Eve were the first. Or is not?
Well, I'm saying just scientifically, if you believe in evolution, if you believe there was monkeys walking and slowly they turned into humans, at one point one of them had to think, I'm not, right?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I guess at some
Logically,
point,
yeah,
that
one of
thought
them has
had to have been. I don't like. I'm telling you, I don't think it's like all of a sudden one was just like, I'm human. Like, I don't think it was like that. I think they just slowly got better and better and better, and then just started doing shit, and then all of a sudden, like, you don't even. It's not even like, oh, we're human. It's just like all of a sudden, you already are human. Like you
Yeah, but
Like-
then your mom isn't.
I don't know. I get what you're saying, and that makes sense, but I just don't think
Could that happen with AI?
it's gonna wake up.
It's like that paradox you say about the numbers. Like you can never get from 1 to 2 if you just keep going smaller and smaller. It's like, yeah, the same thing. If we evolved from monkeys and like, oh, I didn't. At one point, did you realize me and my mom are different? Or I mean, because that had to have happened. If not, we'd still be the same.
I just think the changes are so small between each generation that
No, I get
you
that.
always look like your mom,
Yeah,
no
but
matter what. But then when you look far ahead, they look different. But even though each single one was just like their mom,
You haven't
but like
seen.
tiny little differences.
There's like that photo where it's the monkey and then the baby.
the missing link. It's a missing link, is what they have. That's science, right? And that's the first one. I think the first one that just knew it was different.
Yeah, the one.
If
with
you
the
believe in-
the business suit and the Starbucks. That's how it is.
Yeah, exactly. The first one with the business suit and the Starbucks. Yeah, at some point somebody opted for that life, right? Fuck the trees and fuck.
Or who was the first one to be like, man, I need to cover these cotton balls with something, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. At one generation there wasn't, and one generation there was. Like, no matter how slow you're saying it is.
then you invite your monkey girlfriend over, but your grandpa's still from that older generation, so his balls are out, and you're like, I'm so sorry about my grandfather, man.
Man, it was almost something like. I had my
Exactly.
mouth and nose out, right? My mouth and nose wasn't covered. It's kind of like, oh, why doesn't this guy have his mouth and nose covered?
Like that, exactly, like that one. There had to be the first one. You don't evolve like that. One of them had a thing.
You don't think maybe at first, like, I'll just cover half my balls? Like,